Congratulations, your audition went well and now you're scheduled for your very first Sunday. Now what? Take a breath. I know you're excited. Maybe you're a little bit nervous. Maybe you are a lot bit nervous. That is completely normal. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to prepare so that you can show up to rehearsal confident, ready, and serving your team with excellence. So let's start with something practical. Print your music. I know that we live on iPads and in apps and charts on screens, but there's something really powerful about having a physical copy in front of you. It really does help engage your mind. It helps you focus, and most importantly, it gives you a place to mark things up. That brings me to my next step. Use different colored pens and highlighters. Mark your part clearly on your music, circle your entrances, highlight your harmonies, but don't stop there. Mark other people's parts too, because the more you understand the whole vocal picture, the more valuable you're going to be to your team. And if you want to sing all the time, you need to be valuable to the team. You need to be flexible and be able to move from part to part. You're not just singing your line. You're actually supporting an entire team, an entire sound, vocalist, and the band. You need to be in that mix and be very valuable there. Now, let's talk about something that's going to completely change the way that you approach music as a background singer. We are going to map out the songs. Mapping a song simply means going section by section, looking at the verse, chorus, and bridge, and deciding exactly what you're singing and when. Where do the background vocals come in? Where do they drop out? What words do you sing? What words do you leave out? And yes, leaving out things is just as important as singing. Silence is actually part of your part also, and we'll talk about what to do in that silence in a different episode. If everything is filled all the time, then there's nothing that feels powerful. Space creates clarity. Space creates impact. And as you're mapping, don't just listen to the song, actually study the song. Listen with intention. Ask yourself some questions when you're listening. When do the background vocals enter? Is it just on verse 2? Is it just in the chorus? Are they tight? Are they rhythmic? Or are they long and sustained? Are they supporting the lead, or actually are they leading in certain places, in certain moments? The goal is not just to know the song. The goal is to understand how the whole song works. And here's a big mindset shift. Just because you can sing something doesn't mean that you should sing it. Every note that you sing should have purpose. If it doesn't add clarity or strength or support, it's really okay to leave that out. And we also need to talk about dynamics. Songs usually build in a very similar way. They start small, they grow, there's a section where they usually pull back, and then they come back in again. And the more you learn to recognize the pattern, the easier this is going to become for you. Over time, it's going to feel like second nature. You'll hear it and you'll just know it. You'll start to hear where you belong and where you don't belong. Depending on your team, this can look a little bit different. Some teams are really small with 1 or 2 vocalists. There's a lot more freedom and there's a lot more creativity there. And some teams are large, 4 or 5 singers. My team this week has 5 really strong vocalists. As a leader, I want to know that everyone knows exactly what they're supposed to sing so that nobody wastes time practicing the wrong thing or accidentally sing someone else's part. If you're a soprano, stay on the soprano part. Don't bounce back and forth between parts, alto and soprano. Think of it kind of like driving on a freeway. If everyone stays in their lane, everything moves smoothly. But when one person starts to weave in and out of traffic, it forces everybody to adjust, and suddenly things just get messy and a little bit scary. When everyone fights for space, the sound actually gets smaller, not bigger. And here's another very important piece. Blending is more important than volume. As a background vocalist, your goal is to blend in, to match tones, to match vowel shapes of the person leading the song, match phrasing. If somebody can easily pick out your voice, or you're hearing your voice in the house, in the room, you're probably singing too loudly or you're singing too differently. We want one unified sound. Every team is different. So always defer to your leader, but here is a really good rule of thumb. These songs were produced by incredibly talented musicians and producers. If we start by recreating what has already been done, we already know it's going to sound excellent. That doesn't mean that we can't be creative. It just means that we start in our lane and then we can build out from there with our team and the chemistry that we have. Now, here's something that'll save you on Sunday morning. Your chart is your preparation, but your eyes are your survival plan. Watch your leaders. Things can change in real time. If your eyes are up, you're going to catch it. If your eyes are buried in a chart, you'll probably miss it and mess it all up. So prepare with your chart, but lead with your eyes. Memorizing lyrics and the arrangement, it's going to give you so much freedom in the moment. Freedom to lead, to follow, to worship, to listen to the Holy Spirit in the moment. And through all of this, don't forget why we're doing it. We're not just building a great sound. We are creating space for people to worship God, to sing, and to hear from God. Excellence matters so much because it removes distractions. So let's bring it all together. Before Sunday, ask yourself, do I know my part? Do I know other people's parts? Have I mapped the song? Do I know when to come in? Do I know when to drop out? Am I ready to follow my leader? Have you memorized? This might feel like a lot right now, but I promise you, the more that you do this, the more natural it's going to come. One day, you're not even going to think about it. You're just going to hear a song, know where you belong. And when that happens, you're not just singing anymore, you are leading. We have a lot more coming up in this series. I hope that you'll join me, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.